hi, it's Randy Callie. Can you hear me? It's so loud in this bathroom. Can you literally hear me? Do you hear that noise? I love how I'm wearing a Vegas shirt and I'm going to the Bahamas and Key West, like, random. Okay, so I'm in Fort Lauderdale. Never been here. I've literally only been to Florida to go to Disney World in my life. Like, I've been to Orlando numerous times. Never been to Miami. Never been to Fort Lauderdale. Never been anywhere else. But I heard some shady shit happens in Miami. Maybe I want to go there. So today we are getting on the cruise ship that's going to take us to Key West, and then the following day we go to the Bahamas. So I'm so excited. I cannot wait to witness the Bahamas. Like, I'm just envisioning it. Oh my god, please don't rain. I'm not gonna lie, when we showed up in Florida, it was late, I will say, but when we looked at the window of the plane, I was like, this is Florida, because it was like dark and cloudy and it looked like it had been raining. I was like, this is not what I was expecting. I was just hoping and praying there's no, I'm literally only on a 3-day cruise. Like, this is a quick ass cruise. Like, do not rain on me, please, on the cruise boat or in Key West or the Bahamas, especially the Bahamas. I will say getting here was interesting, per usual. There's always something that occurs that I have to go to YouTube and talk about. I really thought it was a good airport experience. I don't typically care for airports, which is so ironic because I thought about becoming a flight attendant at one point. I still think about it sometimes, but I'm like, oh my god, could I deal with airports all the time and traveling all the time? Like, I don't know. But I don't really love airports because it's just really overwhelming and stressful at airports, and there's a lot of people and you know the drill. But I don't know, we got through the line really quick. It was fine. My anxiety was, we had Chili's at the airport, which I love Chili's, so it was a good start to the trip. We get on the plane. Okay, so this time I decided I will sit in the middle seat, not the aisle seat. And I'll have to deal with whoever's sitting next to me by the window. I didn't know who was gonna be sitting next to me. Like, that's always a gamble, right? So they're not there when I get to the seat, and I'm like, okay, let's wait and see. And eventually people are passing, and finally this guy stops. And I was looking up at him, he just looked like a normal guy. I was like, okay, that's fine. He had like his hood up and shit and had like headphones on. But I get up to let him in and I literally hear him say out loud, oh, I'm not gonna fit in that seat. I was like, oh, great, because I'm sitting next to you. I didn't realize how fucking big this guy was. Like, he was big. I don't know how else to say it, like, because he was covered up in like a hoodie and shit. He was taking more than his fucking seat, let me just say. And I don't usually like comment on this, but I'm the one sitting next to you. First of all, I do have to realize it's already uncomfortable sitting on a flight like this for me. First of all, I have a bony ass, so my ass always hurts. I'm tall, I'm like 6'1", maybe 6'2", I don't know, but my legs are so long. I'm not sitting in first class. Like, this is not fucking first class. So I barely have leg room. I'm already uncomfortable. I already want to just get through it. And then I have this guy, he's literally expanded into my seat. Like, his ass was like almost on my lap. And I'm like, so I was literally like, he was very nice. He was very like one point he like nudged me on accident. He was like, oh, sorry. I was like, oh no, you're fine. So he wasn't just this fool that just didn't give a shit what he was doing and like who he hits and who he knocks and whatever. But it's still like, okay, you're like, what am I supposed to do? Like, it's also an awkward situation because I don't want us to be like on top of each other this whole flight. That's fucking weird. And so like, I'm trying to move over. Luckily, I have a tiny body. Like, I'm a skinny boy. So I'm sitting here like, I love how I'm like, oh, I'm a skinny boy and then I have like 5 chins. Like, why do I have a double chin? Like, I shouldn't have that. Like, stop. Sometimes I'll Facetune out my double chin in photos because I'm like, why do I have a fucking double chin? I was watching Wizard of Oz. I was like spying on what he was watching, and the whole flight, it's kind of hard to like, I don't know how to like show you. Like, can you see my legs? I was like I was trying not to be touching him because I feel awkward doing that. You're a stranger, like, but it was kind of hard to avoid it completely, so we were kind of touching. Also, there was this gay flight attendant. I could just tell he was gay. First of all, most male flight attendants are gay. And then also, he kept like looking at me and smiling. He would walk by just to look at what people were like doing or whatever, and he would be looking down until he would get to my aisle, and then he'd look up at me and be like smirking. I'm like, oh my god. I was wearing my Regina George shirt that said, is butter a carb? So I definitely looked gay. And also the other flight attendant, who was a woman, she was like, oh, is butter a carb? No, honey, it's a calorie. And she's the one that complimented me on my eyes next time I saw her. She had like this red lipstick. She was really pretty, actually. I kept like looking at her when she walked by. I looked like a creeper. I was like literally looking, because I was like, I'm so bored. Like, I'm just gonna look at pretty people. So yeah, and there was another cutie on the flight. Oh, I have to tell you something. When we arrived in Fort Lauderdale last night, we went to a restaurant literally across from the hotel, so we could just walk across the street, even though it was really annoying because it was a busy road. Like, there was like cars coming on both sides, so you had to get to the middle, then wait for the night. Like, it was just a hassle. So anyway, we get there. We're sitting, whatever, and then in walks this guy with a girl, and you could just tell the moment he walked in he was gay, but we locked eyes. He looked right at me because I was sitting right by the door, and he was like striking. He was like, like, I don't know if he was pretty or he was handsome. He looked like he might have, it was dark in there, but it looked like he might have had some makeup on. I don't know, just the way he was dressed and his hair and everything, I could just tell he was gay. But I was like, oh, he's striking. He's cute. I feel like he maybe thought I was cute because the way he looked at me, I just felt like, whoa, there's a spark right there. And he was sitting not that far from me and I felt like I could feel him looking at me. I'm like, oh my God, this is so awkward. Because then I was starting to eat mozzarella sticks and I was like, oh my God, he's like looking at me eating mozzarella sticks. I look stupid. He was definitely like more on the feminine side a little bit, but you know what? I like that. It's so weird. Most gay people like are obsessed with masculinity and shit. I do like masculine, but like, I like some femininity in a guy. I think it's so endearing when a guy has feminine qualities. They're usually a lot more interesting and fun to me. I don't know his personality, but I'm just saying like you could kind of, he had that twink vibe. Like he definitely looked a little feminine and I think that's like really cute. Like, but like a mix like me. You know how I'm kind of masculine, kind of, well, some people out there probably think I'm just gay as fuck and like there's no masculinity in me, but I don't agree with, like I feel like I'm a mix of both. I like that. Do you ever look at somebody in public and you're just like, I want to know you. Like I want to know your name. I want to know your story. I want to know something about you. Unfortunately, I'm never gonna see him again. And what if he was on the fucking cruise? I would die. I'd be like, okay, this is weird. Is this meant to be? You know, it's so funny. The guy in front of us in the line to get onto the plane turned around and just randomly started talking to us. It was so random. He was like, oh, do you know English? And it's like, yeah, we know English. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm from Palm. Well, I think he said he was from Florida. And then he said he was originally from California and mentioned Palm Springs. And I was like, I just made that video on Palm Springs. I was like, oh my God, don't mention Palm Springs. I should have been like, oh yeah, I'm a YouTuber. I was just talking shit about Palm Springs. Well, we gotta go because we have a lift coming soon. So until next time, I'll talk to you soon.